Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video I want to talk about one of the most anticipated games of the year, maybe outside of GTA 6, the most anticipated new game release of the year, and that is the latest in the Monster Hunter franchise that Capcom has done a phenomenal job of popularizing even more, especially over here in the West over the course of the last 7 or 8 years with the release of Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise. We have Monster Hunter Wilds, and in this video I want to go over some of the key information that you should know about the game before you buy it on PC and Steam. Right off the bat, we gotta do some shilling, some housekeeping. Monster Hunter Wilds is available heavily discounted over at GreenManGaming.com. GreenManGaming.com has got the game 16% off for $58.79. Yes, Monster Hunter Wilds is a $70 release, but over at GMG you get a Steam key for under that regular $60 price point, or I guess formerly regular $60 price point, and you'll get it for $58.79. The deluxe edition is discounted as well, typically $90, but it is $75.59, and the premium deluxe edition, typically $110, is $92.39. With each edition of the game, you don't have to pay tax either. You get it directly on Steam, and you will be good to go. So get Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit cheaper over at GMG. With that being said, let's get some housekeeping right out of the way. I was a little bit surprised over the most recent Monster Hunter video I did where I'm talking about the game. So many people are already anticipating a crappy PC version, and I'm not surprised because I am anticipating a PC version with a lot of problems. I don't know if the console version is going to be free with issues, but just keeping it specifically to the PC version, I do believe there is going to be some issues. And why do I say that? Well, that's because damn near every PC game is launching with issues these days, and we kind of got an insight on this game launching with issues on the basis that the beta had a lot, and I mean a lot of issues on PC. Now, you might be saying the beta is an old build. That's great and all. I don't see it being a world where they completely refine everything. Now, they do have a benchmarking tool that is available. I would highly recommend you to use said benchmarking tool. I think people are being a little bit tricked with the benchmark tool. Not necessarily that Capcom is doing it maliciously. I think it's great that they have a benchmark tool. I think every game should be dropping a benchmark tool. You have to realize that a benchmark tool is just a general guideline, and just because the benchmark tool says you can run the game, that does not mean the game is going to be free of any issues. Let me reiterate that. Because the benchmark tool says you can run the game, that doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to have this fully refined experience when the game drops. A benchmark tool, again, is just a guideline, and there could be situations that arise in the game that lead to stuttering, that lead to performance drops, so on and so forth. It's much more effective to see how a game performs in a real-world scenario rather than a benchmark tool. It's a great guideline. I appreciate them having it. I would also appreciate if instead of 2 tiers of system requirements, we got, 4 to 6 tiers, which is becoming more commonplace in gaming, but nonetheless, we'll go over those in a little bit. But utilize the benchmark tool, but take it for what it is and what it's intended to be, a guideline to give you a general idea on performance. With that being said, use it to figure out where you stand on that. It should also be noted, if you do buy the game at this point, preloads will be kicking off here very shortly on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Steam. It will be at 9 p.m. Pacific time globally, so that'll work out to February 26th at midnight over here in the East Coast. And they have a wide variety of times where it's going to be launching at. It will be 9 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday, February 27th, and 12 a.m. Eastern time over here in the East Coast on Friday, February 28th. They have all of the regions listed out. I will leave an image right here where you can pause the video, and if you want to see where you land as far as the game unlocking in your region, go for it there. But globally, the preload will be kicking off February 25th, 9 p.m. Pacific time, and that'll work out for most people being February 26th. And also to talk a little bit about the game, y'all already know what to expect out of a Monster Hunter game. I feel like the majority of you guys are excited for this game on the basis that you played Monster Hunter World and you're very much into the franchise and you're looking for an expanded game, and Wilds is going to be exactly that. It is going to be a gargantuan game, and obviously it does have some unique twists. The official game page notes this: the fates of a people and nature entwine at the center, a boy named Nada and the mysterious white rat. Several years ago, a boy named Nada was discovered near the border of the Forbidden Lands, an uncharted region believed by the guild to be uninhabited. Nada recounts how his village was attacked by a mysterious monster. In response, the guild has organized an expedition to investigate. The hunter is assigned one of the units tasked with investigating the White Wraith and rescuing Nada's people, known as the Keepers. The game also notes a wild and unrelenting new frontier, dynamic, ever-changing environments, and obviously with the title of the game being Wilds, these environments and how they evolve is one of the key components of the game. A story of monsters and humans in a world with two faces, one in which the lands are harsh and unforgiving, where monsters fight for scant resources, and another in which the lands are vibrant and brimming with life, and how the wilds and the environment shift is going to have a direct impact in what you encounter, the gameplay you tackle. You play as a professional monster hunter, protecting the balance of the ecosystem and hunting monsters. Use the resources you gain from hunts to craft even more powerful weapons and armor in your quest to unravel the mysteries of the new lands. Experience the most evolved action and improved immersion in any Monster Hunter game to date so far. And there's obviously going to be a ton of depth to the gameplay when you're talking about the hunting itself, the weapons that are going to be available. Hunting action is bigger than ever. New moves, a huge variety of weapons and equipments, and more ways to use monsters and environments to your advantage. You've got the ultimate hunting action. The 14 iconic weapon types from the Monster Hunter series will each make their return. Greatsword, longsword, sword and shield, dual blades, hammer, hunting horn, lance, gun lance, switch axe, charge blade, insect glaive, light bow gun, heavy bow gun, and the bow will all be available. You've got new action features and new moves for each weapon type that'll make you the most of any situation during your hunt. There's new mechanics introduced, such as focus mode, and a variety of different weapon actions as well. So be on the lookout for all of that. There's so much nuance and depth to the gameplay depending on what weapons you use, and we'll cover that in a different video as far as if you want more information on that. This is just a general overview. With that being said, I also want to go over the system requirements because it's still good to know, especially if you're somebody that's looking to buy a PC or you just don't want to use the benchmark tool for whatever reason. The minimum system requirements is an Intel Core i5-10400 or an Intel Core i3-12100 or a Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of RAM, a GTX 1660 or an RX 5500 XT. Recommended is an i5-10400, i3-12100 or a Ryzen 5 3600, and then an RTX 2060 Super or an RX 6600. It should be noted the minimum requirements are expected to run the game at 1080p, upscaled from 720p, so that is utilizing FSR or DLSS, at 30 FPS under the lowest graphics setting. The recommended requirements, this is expected to run at 1080p at 60 FPS with frame gen enabled. Again, that's kind of memes. We'll see how frame gen really is implemented, and most people seemingly that I encounter don't want to turn on frame gen under the medium graphics setting as well. So if you're trying to play this game at 1440p or 4K at high settings, buckle up and make sure you have a decently higher end PC. But at the very least, if you do have a lower end PC, it looks like you are going to be able to run the game. It's just obviously not at ideal resolutions and settings. And again, there is a heavy expectation that this game is going to end up being a poor PC version. Let me just say, guys, there's nothing wrong with you not playing this game at midnight on February 28th. The reality is probably y'all are right. Those of you that think you're waiting and seeing for the PC version, if it's good or not, you're probably gonna be of the mindset when it comes out that the PC version needs some work. And why do I say that? Well, there's too much evidence based on the system requirements, based on the fact that the beta test, while again an older build, was not that great. And on top of that, PC games just these days more often than not have a lot of issues, and if you wait a little while, you're gonna get a much more refined experience. Just look at Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 came out as a disaster in my experience, and just a couple patches later, it's working incredibly well. I'm not saying Wilds is gonna be like that, and what everybody views as, oh, this is a bad PC version of this game, it's gonna vary person to person. Again, as you guys know, and I cover it all the time on this channel, PC gaming has this wide spectrum of hardware and different experiences that people will encounter. A lot of people, when Spider-Man 2 came out, had a lower end rig than me and didn't face a single crash whatsoever, and the game ran really well. And then there's people with higher end rigs than me that had an even worse experience. Sometimes it's just a absolute crap show. The best way to mitigate how much of a crap show it is by waiting and for letting all the patches drop. But I get it that this is one of the most anticipated games of the year. Waiting a couple weeks to play the game, that's easier said than done. You want to jump into it the day it comes out. Just be of the mindset that there are going to be some issues, and that's going to happen. Monster Hunter World also had a lot of issues, but you would think that over the last 7 years, Capcom's PC versions of Monster Hunter titles would get much better, and I believe they probably did make a lot of refinements since that older beta test. It's just, you can't be foolish enough to expect something that is totally ironed out, and there are going to be some issues. I can confidently say that, and that's not rocket science. I'm not saying anything that's this insane by saying that there's gonna be issues. There absolutely will be. I should note, with Monster Hunter Wilds, let's go over every edition. There is a pre-order bonus, the Hunter Laird Armored Guild Knight set and the Talisman Hope Charm. That'll be available for all editions of the game. If you do get the deluxe edition of the game, you will get the pre-order bonus, and you will get a lot of in-game items from the deluxe pack. The Hunter Laird Armor set, the decoration for your mount, Laird Armor set, pendant, gesture, hairstyle, makeup, and face paint, a sticker, a set, and nameplate extra frame. And then the premium deluxe edition will include everything from the deluxe edition, the pre-order bonus, and the premium bonus, the Hunter Laird Armor, the Wyvern ears, the premium bonus, Hunter profile set, and BGM proof of a hero. That is the 2025 recording. And on top of that, you will get the Monster Hunter Wilds Cosmetic DLC Pack 1 planned for a release in spring of 25, and Monster Hunter Wilds Cosmetic DLC Pack 2 planned for a release in summer of 2025. Speaking of things coming out down the line, there is also the Monster Hunter Wilds updates that'll be coming out after the game's release. If you're familiar with Monster Hunter, you know that Capcom is going to do a tremendous job of keeping this game updated, and we already know that there will be a title update, the first free title update that'll be coming in spring, adding a brand new huntable monster, and there will be more content updates coming throughout the rest of the year. So not only by waiting do you end up having this PC version more refined, if you're talking about waiting months or until the end of the year, you're talking about getting more content as well. But most of y'all, I know, are trying to play this game day one. I'm just bringing up the fact that patience always ends up winning out in terms of getting the most refined experience possible, but I digress. Most people ain't going to be trying to do that. If you do want the game discounted, again, GMG in the link in the description box below. And by the way, you do get the keys immediately. So you buy it, key will be delivered immediately upon purchase. You redeem it on Steam, it'll get added to your Steam library, and come February 26th, midnight Eastern, or February 25th, 9 a.m. Pacific, the preload will go live, and then on the 28th, the game will be playable for everyone. 9 p.m. Pacific time on the 27th, it'll be playable in the Pacific, so keep that in mind as well. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know a lot of information to go over, and this is really just scratching the surface. This is just the general overview, and, giving you guys a heads up on getting the game cheaper. So that'll do it for me. All of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know I came across a little bit negative. It's just, I've experienced it too many times where a big game comes out, there's so many issues with the PC version. I mean, hell, it happened with Elden Ring back in 2022. Y'all remember the stuttering with that game? This just happens, and it stings a lot more when it's one of the biggest game releases of the year. That's why I'm letting you guys know that you should go into it with a little bit of pessimism in mind, and if it turns out to be good, if it turns out to be a great PC version, hey, you are pleasantly surprised at that point. I always say it's best to be prepared for the worst case scenario. And I'm not saying it's going to be an absolute disaster that's crashing every 5 minutes, but again, how people assess does this game have issues on PC, it's going to vary from person to person. I think it's going to be a totally playable experience. I mean, the open beta was playable, certainly for everyone. I think it's going to be better than that, but I still think there's going to be some issues. With that being said, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts down below, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.